Good Saturday morning and welcome to week 11 of college football's game day on Greenville Sports Media and the Teal Roost podcast. And we are going to be talking about the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers and also the Sun Belt Conference predictions that we have each week. And so I look forward to bringing you that information today. And let's get started. We've got a big game Thursday night. I'm kind of playing catch up here because I'm playing before the Saturday morning show and before the recording. So I'm trying to do my best to bring you as much information about the game tonight as I can, not knowing really what the outcome is. And I apologize for that. I'll have to catch up with you next Saturday on week 12 show. But Coastal is going to be taking on Appalachian State tonight at 8 p.m. on ESPN. It's the Thursday night ESPN game of the week. And we'll have Matt Baer here with ESPN, along with some other crew folks there. I believe Harry Lyles is going to be on the sideline, and Dan Mullen's going to be in the booth with Matt Baer. And of course, they were both here at the university earlier today on the Sports Center show at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, having a lot of fun with Coach Beck as well as the students there. Great turnout. Glad to see that in Shots land happening, and we're really excited about all the great things that are happening here. But let me get you a little bit up to date on how these two teams have fared playing each other in the last few seasons. And of course, it is a serious rivalry between these two teams. And as a matter of fact, they just don't like each other, period. Not even the fans. We don't get along too well either. And when we go up to Boone and play there at that beautiful facility that App State has up there that we were at last year and actually beat App State for the first time on that field in Boone. And so we're on a 2-game winning streak against them, having beat them in Coastal, or beat them here in Conway the year before. So we're very excited about it. The two teams have both struggled from time to time this year, and they both have had what you might say a rough first half of the season for these two teams that are, generally season to season are very competitive and usually fighting against each other in the Eastern Conference for the title there. And, it's just been a rough scenario. I mean, App State won it last year on the Eastern side, and they just kind of fell apart at the beginning of the season. And Coastal has just been hit and miss. We don't know what Coastal team's going to show up from game to game. It's really hard to tell what this team is really suffering from. We made coaching changes. I didn't do anything. The university decided that it was going to part ways with Coach Trickett, and as the offensive coordinator, Coach Beck's taken over that responsibility. He also has taken over the quarterback's responsibility. He started Ethan Vasco last week in the Chanticleers' loss, and we didn't really see that much difference in the offense in comparison to when Coach Trickett was here. The thing that we saw that was really a bitter pill to swallow was the lack of our defense playing against Troy. And Troy just, ran the ball down our throat. They had 2 running backs that were fantastic, and both of those guys were over 100 yards. I think one of them was, definitely in the 200s in overall offensive performance. So, it just really, really hurt to see the defense play that way, and kind of made you wonder, man, did we make a mistake in coaching choice changes there, and did we make the right one? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out as the season goes on. And we're hoping that, we can get it turned around, because the Chanticleers haven't lost 4 football games since back in 2018. And that was, a rough season that year. And we just, we're just not accustomed to that. We're not accustomed to losing ball games like that. We lose, but we generally don't lose 3 additional games after that or 2 additional games. It's just not, it just hasn't happened. But this is Coach Beck in his 2nd season, and we've seen quite a bit of that. So we're gonna be positive about the game tonight. We're going to be cheering on the Chanticleers. We want everybody to come out to Brooks Stadium, fill the seats, fill the stadium, wear your black because tonight is a blackout night. They're giving away blackout towels. It's going to be an exciting, fun, fanfare atmosphere that goes on every week with pyrotechnics and motorcycles. And it is just really, really a fantastic atmosphere to be watching a football game in. We're looking forward to it. And Coastal, like I said, they're looking for big things out of their players, according to the coach this game. They're continuing to look for great things out of the offensive line. The offensive line has been just a fantastic O-line this year. They've only given up 7 sacks the entire season so far, and that ranks number 6 in the nation, as best in the nation. And Jamison Tucker has caught passes in 11 consecutive games, and that dates all the way back to last year's Texas State game. So, we've got a lot of things to look positive to and for tonight. We've got 2 good quarterbacks. If we need to use both of them, we'll probably use both of them. We've got Brandon Bennett in the backfield running the football. He's like a freight train back there. We got Jamison Tucker, like I mentioned, going down the sidelines. We've got Kenneth Carr just tearing it up at tight end and catching the ball across the middle and making big blocks in there and big hits. So, let's just keep going, guys. Defense is got to step it up tonight. The defense has to come to play tonight because App State is not going to be an easy team to beat. I can tell you that. You're going to have to play every second of the clock and play it hard, run through every whistle, do everything that you've been taught, because Sean Clark is one heck of a football coach, and he's going to come in here wanting to embarrass Coastal Carolina and their, in front of their fans, and we're not going to let him do that tonight. We're going to reverse that scenario. I'm hoping that our guys aren't looking forward to Marshall next week. But I'm hoping the Marshall's looking forward to us next week instead of playing the game that they should win this Saturday. And we'll talk about that a little bit in the predictions here in a minute. But again, I just hope that we are ready to buckle down and go. We're ready to play this game, every play, every down. That we finish this ball game is really what we need to do. We need to finish. So as I mentioned, on November the 16th, it's a 1 p.m. game up at Marshall. Will be our next game after this Thursday night ball game against Appalachian State. And we look forward to that game. We're traveling up there, going to see some family, and going to spend time at the game with them as well, and cheer on the shots up there and bring you some live stuff from up there as well. So we're looking forward to that. So, please do this. Please stay tuned to the Teal Roost podcast. You can see us on YouTube. That's the easiest way, on our YouTube channel, and that is the Teal Roost podcast. Get on there and follow us. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe to us. Doesn't cost you anything. You can control your notifications on there. So, it's a great thing. And, again, I'm trying to bring you Coastal Carolina sports information, whether it be football, baseball, soccer, basketball. We're into our basketball season now. Both men's and women's, both men and women kicked off a win this past week. So we're both looking forward to covering everything that we can when it comes to Coastal Carolina sports. So again, if you don't see us on there, please follow us at Greenville Sports Media. Again, that's Greenville Sports Media. You can find that at greenvillesportsmedia.com. We're posted up on the website there with the other podcast channels and also with articles that we do for them as well. We're thankful for them and their support each and every week as we do this show. So let's get on with the SBC Weekly Week 11 predictions. And I've got 4 ball games on here for you guys. And the first one that I'm looking at is Texas State against ULM. That's the the Texas State Bobcats against the Warhawks. And here's the overall. Texas State comes into this game at 4-4. They are 2-2 in the SBC. These are Western Conference teams. And ULM comes in to this game at 5-3 overall and 3-2 in the SBC. I really believe this is a toss-up game. If you look at the stats, these teams are so evenly matched on paper that I believe it's just going to be a toss-up game. And I really, I've called this game really close here. We're going with 31-28, and that's basically I'm going to go with what my gut feeling is Texas State. And I think Texas State's going to pull an upset this week. They're starting to kind of turn around. And again, it's going to be a toss-up game, very close. I believe they're going to go back and forth, and it may come down to a field goal. It may come down to a last-minute touchdown, but it's going to be a toss-up game. The next one that I'm looking at is Marshall, the Thundering Herd. They're taking on Southern Miss Golden Eagles, and they're playing down at Southern Miss in Hattiesburg. And I believe that this is going to be an upset special for me this week. Marshall's 5-3 overall and 3-1 in the conference. Southern Miss, they're 1-7, poor guys, but they're 0-4 in the conference. They're looking for their first win, and it's a homecoming game for them. And I really believe in my heart that perhaps Marshall might be looking ahead in this game to playing Coastal Carolina at Huntington next weekend. And I just think that it's going to be an upset special. And I'm going to go with Southern Miss Golden Eagles getting their their first win in the SBC this coming Saturday. And they're also going to be 2-7 overall. And this has always been a really good football team in the past. And, I think they have a lot of pride and they really want to show something. So listen, I've got them in this game at 28-24. Southern gets the W. The next game up is Georgia State, the Panthers, versus James Madison, the Dukes. The Panthers are 2-6 overall and 0-4 in the conference. James Madison is 6-2 overall and 2-2 in the SBC. And those two games that they've lost have been really weird games and really weird, just entirely weird for James Madison, because normally they can put, 70 on North Carolina one week and hang 70 on them in an ACC team that it's got a pretty decent football team, and then turn around and lose a game the next week that they should just absolutely win as well. So I think James Madison has kind of gotten their acts together. I believe this is going to be a total blowout, and I've got JMU at 56-17. My last team that I've got here is Arkansas State, the Red Wolves, and they're going to be playing the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. And the Raging Cajuns are at home. They're 7-1 on the season, 4-0 in the Sun Belt, and they're first place in the SBC West. They have just been tearing it up. We've got to see them play against us earlier in the season, and they're a good, well-balanced football team. And I think that with them being playing their homecoming game and it being a really tough place to win to start with, and it being their only loss of the season, come back to September the 21st, I believe I looked at it, was against Tulane. And they lost to Tulane 41-33, if I remember correctly, in that game. So I think they want to try to finish this season out with, no losses in the SBC and, no more losses in their overall record. They're looking potentially to be one of maybe our Power 4 teams that actually make it to play in one of our bowl games. Excuse me, I said Power 4, I meant Power 5, to play against some of the Power 4 teams. But just think that they're kind of on that track, and I think a lot of other people that are writers around the country, other podcasters, sports podcasters, college football people, are seeing this kind of the same thing out of Arkansas State. So, Louisiana Raging Cajuns, excuse me. So I am picking those guys to win this game. I think that with Butch Jones, he always has his teams ready to play. I don't like Butch very much. Dirty hit last year on Grayson McCall, our quarterback that's been a legend at Coastal Carolina. And it was definitely a targeting call. Did not get called for targeting. And it ruined his season. It ended his career at Coastal Carolina, which, still got kind of a bad taste in our mouth. But I still think that they're a good ball club. And, even despite sometimes people thinking that they play a little bit of unethical football, I still think that the Raging Cajuns are going to come through 35-30 this week against Arkansas State Red Wolves. So having said all that, again, please, if you will, go on our podcast on YouTube and take a look at the Teal Roost podcast. Just search for it. It'll come up. You can go on to our page. We just surpassed 50 subscribers, which is, something that we are totally thankful for. All you great people out there that help us each and every week, that help us to do great things and help us to be able to bring you this show, as well as our articles that you read and everything associated with Coastal Carolina sports, as well as Greenville Sports Media. Take care. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your college football, and have a great week. And chance up.